ready for some black sheep?
What was that, T-Bart?
Exercise is live! Black Sheep Bravo, broadcasting from red zone to green zone and everywhere in between. Always armed.
You got it on Black Sheep Bravo. With us today is our new French linguist, Trouble. I'm Spaniard, the one and only. Our newly world-renowned donut tongue puncher, Crash. And we would like to welcome back the man behind the curtain, the first documented Amish porn star, Max. So we got a great show for you lined up, just as always. We're going to kick it off with our friends from North Korea. Again, talking some major... Again, they are looking to talk about nuclear weapons. All right, I don't know if you guys have read this story yet, but again, at this present moment, they are talking on launching some nuclear test missions. And at the present, North Korea is seeking talks with the United States, but the goal is not being realized, the source said. So, again, Kim, our little friend, or Jun Un Kim, or whatever his name is trying to put the big boy pants on and trying to cause a ruckus. But I think he's barking up the wrong tree once again. Pretty tough talk coming from a short guy. He wants to turn Seoul into powder. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I'm sure it has a bad onset to it.
The white powdery stuff?
I don't know. He says his words. He vowed to turn Seoul into powder if provoked.
What's that go for a kilo now? He might make a lot of money off of that.
You know what? He might be on the powder, and that's why he
probably is
like
on the
this.
powder. He needs to be on the weight loss powder stuff, though.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. Maybe that's why he's talking crazy.
There is a lot of powder produced from that Korea side of town.
I don't understand why the AP always starts these stories on North Korea with began nuke tests.
I get something fresh.
Yeah, I thought they were doing tests this whole time. I guess I'm under a rock. I didn't realize this was still going on.
Now, you see, he also threatened the South Korean president with assassination and vowed to, turning Seoul into powder. I can't see that. It's like, and then my question was, if the United States or South Korea, North Korea, they want to sit down with the U.S. and their terms of negotiations keep getting turned down, what are these terms?
Yeah, I still don't get that. I mean, why aren't we... It kind of seems like they're talking, and the United States is just saying, whatever. You run along, little kid. We don't have time to play with you. We got real big boy problems than to deal with you.
I'm going to vote to not even entertain the guy anymore and not give him any airtime until he follows through with something, because I'm getting kind of tired of talking about him.
I think sometimes when you say he wants his big boy pants on, he just wants a seat at the table. Problem is, he keeps talking the way the kids talk. And he needs to go play in the corner by himself until he learns how to talk the big boy talk.
I like to see him on one of those fat shows, like The Biggest Loser, and really see. I like to see him in action. Wouldn't that be something?
You remember the TV shows on MTV? It was called Bully Beatdown.
Yes,
he needs to be on Bully Beatdown.
Kim Jong Un, we are officially inviting you to our first episode of Bully Beatdown.
That would draw, if we put that on pay-per-view, that would draw us a lot of money.
Ding, 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 ding.
Talking about using that money to upgrade our military's weapons and what have you. I mean, it could be used for a lot of different things here. And on that same note with North Korea, we're gonna just finish off with North Korea here and move along. But they also have a video, an actual 4-minute video called "The Last Chance" that talks about the history of the U.S. and Korean relations, including images of U.S. prisoners of war on Korean soil. So again, they have a lot of time on their hands to be doing all this.
That propaganda video even takes digitally enhanced episode showing a missile emerging from the clouds and slamming into the road in front of the Lincoln Memorial and setting this massive wave of destruction across Washington. And as the U.S. Capitol's burning in the background, a message flashes up on the screen in Korean. If quote, if U.S. imperialists budge an inch towards us, we'll immediately hit them with nuclear weapons, unquote. The video published on North Korea's propaganda website again. I think that's the same website I got my episode on rabbit farming. I think I ordered.
That's right. Yeah, did you get that? Did you get the free T-shirt?
Well, I ordered some Skillcraft pens there. Lighthouse for the Blind. They sell some of their stuff on there.
Yeah, that's again. It's one of those things where he's going to keep doing what he's doing, and I think he's trying. He's really trying hard to get some attention his way, but right now it looks like ISIS and all the different Middle Eastern terror attacks are taking the limelight right now. So he's really pulling at straws to get some attention his way. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, Kim Jong Un, you've been called out. We'll see you here. First episode of Bully Beatdown.
Bully Beatdown.
And if you don't show, we'll just take that as your way of telling the world that you're a small man.
But here's my request, though: if we're going to do that show, Black Sheep Bravo can promote it and we could sponsor it. My only added point to that is that we have a gorgeous ring girl to bring us in, and my vote is a certain ABC weather girl that I'm
we
sure
can't tell you her name, but her name begins with a C and ends with an S.
Wait, one question: who would he be fighting?
Me. I'm gonna take him head to head. I mean,
ooh, that's a good
we'd
question.
have to get him a step stool. I'm a small guy, but imagine how big of a step stool you need to get him in there.
I mean, I wonder what his fighting
his fighting technique.
Well, his fighting technique. What is his
crane? Crane technique.
Crane style.
Is that even?
There is a crane style.
If I fight like a redneck, you're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, like how tall is he? What's his wing?
His stance, his wing. Yeah, his stance.
Well, if you look at the Korean equivalent of the encyclopedias, I'm sure he's 9'2", weighs in at 390. He's probably the number one fighter in the world. With he's probably 50-0, 55-0, somewhere in there.
How about Rosie O'Donnell? You think that would be a fair fight?
I think we should just do a ring match, death match. We'll have Rosie, Trump, Kim Jong Un. We need one more to make it an even.
Yeah, see, I'm brainstorming here. I'm at a loss. I don't even know.
You know who I like to see in the ring?
Terrorist.
You know who I want to see in the ring? Putin.
Oh, Putin with the shirt off.
I go with Putin. He wins.
Yeah, of course.
That's because you're in love with the man.
Open up your phone. Let me see if your
screensaver still.
So
him on the horse with his shirt off. Look at he's changing the subject.
I have his right nipple as my screensaver.
There you go. The right comes out.
The left nipple, but the right nipple, strong.
Trouble has a bromance with Putin.
We should see.
No, not with Putin. Just his right nipple.
We'll see. Let's see if the CIA can coordinate that for us and spin and help promote us that.
Wow.
Spinning, that's another one. Ooh, that comes up with another idea, like a breakdance competition would also be pretty good. So, Paul, tell us about this new intensifying fight that people are talking about now in Syria.
Yeah, I'm looking, and I've noticed this story. We got some fighting between some CIA-backed militia and Pentagon-backed Syrian rebels. The first thing that came to my head was, first, who didn't get the memo?
Exactly. My thoughts.
Who, like, somebody was like, delete. Like, really? You just skipped that memo. And then somebody pick a team.
Well, yeah, I mean, is the CIA and the Pentagon secretly wanting to fight each other, but instead of fighting each other physically, hey, let's fund this war, both sides of it, and we'll let them fight each other.
Normally they have a softball game. And they were like, you know what?
I thought it was a chili cook-off.
No, they both suck at a chili cook-off. We know this. But normally you'd think it would be a softball game. And they're like, no, let's take the stakes up a little bit. Let's actually get some bloodshed out there. And we're going to throw these militias and these rebels up against each other. And whoever group wins
gets to stay. Here's the cool thing. I like the names. Like the CIA backed, their team is called the Knights of the Righteousness.
Like that team,
yeah. And then they're playing against the 6'4" sophomore from the Pentagon backed Syrian Democratic Forces. I mean, that's kind of a lame name.
Here ringside in Aleppo on the Turkish border.
Syrian
we bring
Democratic
you
Forces.
The Knights of Righteousness.
Let's get it on.
Now,
sponsored by.
Memo's gone to the delete button.
I mean, I know people are getting killed over there, but I do find a little bit of humor in this story that we're funding both sides of this.
That's the irony right there.
You have to wonder what the email traffic looks like back here stateside. Hey Chuck, did you see our guys took 10 of your guys out? You still don't want to pass that bill?
That's
Or hey, we can't access those files that you guys had.
Hey, you still owe me beer money, so we're going to take out a couple of your guys until I get paid.
I'm going to send them a drone.
I wonder if this all started over like a bad argument at a bar somewhere in Washington.
Oh,
you know how they've got all the secret squirrels go to all those little bars?
Yep.
And you know you're there because when you walk into the bar, everybody turns and stares at you, and they're all in the same suits.
All wearing a black
tie,
suit.
Yeah. Well, it's like dark
earpiece.
blue. Yeah.
Well, tell me about this. I'm going to read a quote here. This is from State Representative Adam Schiff of California, and he says, "It's an enormous challenge. The top Democrat on the White House Intelligence Committee, who described the clashes between U.S. supporter groups as a fairly new phenomenon." Now, my thing here, my thing here is the word the Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. Now, if that's not an oxymoron, I don't know what is.
Well, I love the follow-on quote of that he also said, which was, quote, "It is part of the three-dimensional chess that is the Syrian battlefield," unquote. So
chess.
CIA and Pentagon are playing virtual chess in real life.
No, they're playing softball, but they just extended it to...
It's like a morph of the Hunger Games, isn't it?
That's what it is.
Basically.
That's what it is.
Basically.
Now, see, here's another money maker that the United States can capitalize on is, pay-per-view. Let's watch it. Let's put some GoPros on some of these guys. Let them go out there and, hey, man, pay-per-view, man. In 5 minutes, $5.
Dude, that's $1 billion idea.
There you go. There goes our deficit problem.
Wait a minute.
GoPro, we're giving you a plug. If you can provide about 4,700 of your units.
4,700? Are there that many
Wi-Fi capable
militias and rebels?
Well, because that area in the northern Syria around Aleppo, it's the country's second largest city, features not only a war between the Assad government and its opponents, but also the periodic battles against Islamic State militants who control much of the eastern Syrian region. Long story short, you have all these other battles going on, and now you have the CIA and the Pentagon, in their own words, playing chess.
It's the Hunger Games. It really is.
So let me ask this, and this has even been pointed out as a critical point. Should the U.S. arm and train the Free Syrian Army?
We'd like to hear your feedback.
Yeah, let us know, because that's a very, very interesting topic. Like we talked about earlier, it's like a chess game, a Hunger Game, so to speak.
Well, on a more serious note, it's fine that both of these groups are being sponsored by the U.S. Okay, I get it. Where I think there's an issue is it makes you start to wonder, because the Knights of the Righteousness, their commander basically said he does not care where you get your support. We will fight you. So now who has control of them? They're backed by the CIA and the Pentagon. It makes me wonder, is there no control of those two groups?
And it's like there's this game, so to speak, I guess, being played by our government, but they are taking this absolutely seriously. And this is war. This is infighting between...
Well, I've got an idea, too. One of our biggest sponsors is the Zinc Factory in Cedar Lake, Indiana, zincfactory.com. They do amazing graphic arts. They do stickers, T-shirts. They do some really, really amazing stuff there. zincfactory.com. Let's see if they will also help sponsor this GoPro. Fight
to the finish against the CIA and the Pentagon. I mean, that'd be...
Through rebels.
So they get CIA T-shirts?
Yeah, they're different colors. It would be like, again, what was the Knights of Righteousness versus the Syrian Democratic Forces, the SDF.
Well, it could be like shirts versus skins, or red versus blue.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Well, then they'd be running around smacking each other in the chest.
What about red versus blue?
I just say CIA T-shirts and then Pentagon T-shirts and just throw them out there. Drop a whole bunch of cameras everywhere.
So is it like rugby where they, midway through they stop and they all drink on the field and drink out of the kegs? Party?
That's a good idea. Yeah,
and then every 10 minutes we drop
a
ground-to-air missile lock.
No, better yet,
just to keep it
interesting.
We unleash. What do you call it?
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to try not to think too hard. But you open up a cage of cobras or like panthers, and you just throw them out there as like
airdrop them.
Yeah, just say here's another difficulty level. You got to get through the cobras and the panthers.
What was that? What was that one movie where they take the prisoners and they're racing all kinds of Mad Max style cars, shooting Death Race.
Love that movie.
Or Running.
Jason Statham.
These are all great ideas. Why is Hollywood not on this? They can not only expose what we're wasting money on overseas, but they can use it as as a ploy for a new.
I wonder if Hollywood actually gave him.
Well, here's what I like to do.
Hollywood, yeah.
For our listeners listeners out there that happen to have money, if you want to help us back this endeavor, we'll make it famous. We could line this all up, get it all going. We can make DVDs. I mean, this could be a huge.
Your contribution of $1.2 trillion.
Yes.
We will put your name on our website. If you do 2.3 trillion or more, we'll also put your either your picture or your business logo. And if you're over 2.3 trillion, we have a very special gift for you. You'd have to come into the studio.
And you get a players pool, Knights of Righteousness. So
well,
Abdul so and so he's a.
In trouble, we'll give you a tour of the local casino, maybe like a kitchen tour. That'd be great.
Can you arrange that?
Can you throw that in there?
Arrange a kitchen tour. No.
Well, there you go. You get everything but.
Food chain.
You get everything but.
But we'll get you into the casino. We'll get you like $20 in play and chips. We'll get you something. Oh, I can definitely get him a T-shirt.
Can we bring in Kim Jong Un for this too? Like
yeah.
he can be the freelancer.
Well,
he doesn't even need to be on either side. He can.
Know he's.
Well, you know what?
He's still upset.
Well, he's definitely going to be upset, and he's going to be feisty when he gets.
I
if
can
you
see him
airdrop him in, you know how feisty that
airdrop
guy
him in
will
on
be?
a tricycle.
With a balloon.
Because I know you guys can picture this in your head.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about
North
this.
Korea, so are you going to talk about
I was going to talk about that.
Let's talk about the phone calls me and Spaniard got.
We have gotten a few calls from the actual consulate.
North Korean consulate called our cell phones. Now, first off, I want to know how they got our cell numbers.
They probably got it in a bathroom, that name on it, some woman's bathroom, and probably at the casino.
Woman's bathroom?
Mm-hmm. Hey, for a good time, call Spaniard.
I thought that was in a men's room.
It was women's.
I had to laugh when they were reprimanding me on the phone because I talked to you after that. I called you to ask if, hey, did you happen to get a call from somebody? If I was the only one, I wasn't just going to say anything about it. I was going to play it off. But they strictly reprimanded me. They cited all kinds of legal action, and I just had to stop and pause, set down my whiskey. 7 in the morning, set down my whiskey. Had to kind of look up at the sky, and I got real serious with him. I said, you're throwing fuel on the fire, and I can't wait to talk about him again.
Don't forget about our amendments. We get the freedom of speech and freedom of press. So go ahead and bring it.
Bring it.
So far, there's been no response. So I guess we made our stance.
Well, once you say bring it, that's usually the end all, the be all.
Oh, it's already been brought in.
Oh.
Well, I'll read you the email later.
So yeah, tell us your thoughts on that. Should we back off North Korea, or should we kind of fuel the fire a little bit and give them some more tension? So
because I'm great with Photoshop, Kim Jong Un could be a real nice parody for me.
Hey, they want some talking about. He wants his name heard. He wants his name all in the news. We'll talk him.
And ladies, if you happen to see my name at a restroom, let me know which restroom. I'll like to keep tabs on that to see where my name is being.
Well, I write it down every time I take a poop somewhere.
Fellas, when you see Spaniard's name out there, let us know.
Whatever. Let me know. I want to keep tabs on that. Good marketing play for the show. Speaking of donuts, I'm looking at this box right now, and it's in front of this picture that I'm distracted. I don't know which.
I thought you were talking about the picture.
Both. I'm looking at both. I'm kind of putting them together to give this image.
The donut hole with the box.
Use your imaginations, ladies and gentlemen. Use your imagination.
They don't call me the expert for no reason.
So anyway, let me take a sip of coffee here.
Let's close out this story, and I'm gonna vote. Let's see what the unanimous decision is here. I'm not going to report about North Korea from now on. I'm just going to come on and make fun of Kim Jong Un every time we're on.
Oh, I concur. Straight to yes. We'll do 5 jokes about Kim Jong Un.
Like 5 reasons why we should keep making fun of him. We should do it every show from this point on. But that's about it. No more stories.
No. I think he drank coffee as a kid, and that's why he's so short.
It stunted his growth.
Stunted. I wonder if he's if he claims he's 9 feet tall in his homeland.
That he probably pissed off his barber way back when, and that's why the hair he has now is more of a fashion statement than almost like a screw you to all you barbers who messed up my hair.
You know what? That is. You know what? I wonder if he's crazy enough to make that the standard haircut for all men in North Korea.
There we go.
Well, I think we should just combine all these stories together. Let's bring the extremists out of Brussels and Paris. Let's just get them all tracked down. We'll release them in Syria, since Syria's already rebels anyways. And then get the GoPros going, and then we get that whole show going. We can air it live.
He probably looks bad on camera, though.
Maybe one of the casinos can sponsor that one. That'd be kind of cool. Something to think about.
Hey, there's going to be some good betting on that then. You're
Right.
talking good betting. A lot of money on Putin's right nipple.
All right. So with that said, we're going to take a quick break, refill on the coffee and some whiskey, maybe a little bit of both, and we'll attack some more. Be right back. Stick around.
The U.S. Military All-Stars is embarking on their 26th annual Red, White, and Blue Tour across America. We are the only team playing all active duty and veterans from all branches of the military. We are traveling 12 states this year. We have a call to arms and are looking for players from around the world. We are a non-profit, and we also would like to challenge all veterans and baseball fans to show their support. We honor all veterans that have ever worn a uniform in defense of our freedom. Nobody delivers patriotism better. Go to usmilitaryallstars.com. If you're a player, join us. If you're a supporter, click on Donate. God bless you, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
And we're back to Black Sheep Bravo. Welcome everyone back. We're going to kick off a segment called Stuck on Stupid, but this time it's going to be presented by our very own Crash. What do you got for us, Crash?
You will not believe how stupid people can really be, how naive. So I saw.
I can believe it.
I'm scrolling Facebook the other day, and I see this thing that's a screenshot, and it says, it's posted by a police department. It said, there's a breakout of Ebola and local methamphetamines. To bring your meth to the local police department to have it tested. Obviously, we thought it was funny. We're sharing it on Facebook. We're sharing in like the Newton County and the No page, and of course somebody actually took the bait in Granite Shoals. The police department posted this same meme, and this lady, and don't hold it against me for the name, I'm not making this up, Chasity.
Nice.
Hobson took the bait and apparently took her methamphetamines into the Granite Shoals Police Department. Hey, can I have this tested for Ebola? Obviously, she won you do stupid things, you win stupid prizes, and she got a free night stay, and I bet she got a $2 cheeseburger from McDonald's.
Exactly right.
Not even McDonald's.
I would have loved to have seen the face of whoever she went to bring the drugs.
Like
to
you'd be
test
like,
it.
yeah, you'd be.
I would have laughed. I would have
been like, who put you up to this?
I would have pissed my
Did
pants.
Thompson put you up to this?
Twice.
Did Smith put you up to this?
Yeah, you gotta be joking me.
There they go now. The police are coming for her.
Here they come.
Here they come.
She probably had the most sincere face on when she brought her meth and said, I don't want to die from this.
I don't want to die of Ebola.
I don't want to die from Ebola. Please help me.
I think they should. Well, the police department did have to end up taking it down by pressure from the outside public, saying it was unprofessional.
Oh, come on.
I think it's creative. It's
That
creative
is.
genius. Remember back, I think it was in the late 80s, early 90s, they had a big ring of gangbangers they wanted to arrest, so they sent out these invitations to the local stadium and saying they won all these prizes, TVs,
Yes,
sporting
I do.
tickets, and of course these morons showed up.
And they all had warrants and.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. It unprofessional or cost effective.
Yeah,
How much did it cost to put out a meme?
Right.
Like, seriously.
Well, and they probably just stole it from the same place I stole it from, you know, and
or
thinking it was funny, and then somebody actually took the bait.
Or manpower. How much manpower did that require? Man hours.
I want to meet
get
the
that.
moron that said that was unprofessional.
Oh, I know. That's just stupid.
I think it's frickin' genius.
It's some elected official.
Probably. And
Whose son probably OD'd on meth, and secretly they probably wish
He didn't OD. He's still on it.
or still on it. But I mean, you got to think the people that say it's unprofessional, they know somebody either directly or indirectly plagued by either heroin or methamphetamines.
Or they've never been a victim
Now,
of it.
I'm all for getting the help rather than going to jail.
True.
But hey, if you're dumb enough to go into the police department to have it tested for Ebola or malaria or whatever other meme they come out with, then I think it's
chlamydia.
Next time, just take it to the local research lab, because I don't think the police department has a research lab.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
They research your name with warrants.
it's down in cell block B.
There's no law that says that police officers have to tell the truth.
Here, we can test this for you.
No,
but
if you ask a cop, they're supposed to tell you they're a cop.
Yeah, and we can test this for Ebola, but please, in order to test this, in order to come into the facility, you need to put on this special jumpsuit, and here's a bologna sandwich for all you wait.
And here's some shiny metal for you.
This police station's
You know
really
what?
nice.
We went and tested it. It's negative for the Ebola, but it's
However-
positive for meth.
However, Chastity. So thank you, Chastity, for giving us a chuckle, and and nothing against the name Chastity. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of intelligent, smart, powerful women by the name of Chastity,
They all work on a pole.
or they sell belts.
or they.
No, at least they're not saying chiclets at the border crossing.
So right before we went to break, I mentioned Brussels, and following this story, they were obviously looking to make radioactive dirty bombs, and the report that preceded the horrific attacks on Brussels revealed that the ISIS terrorists have been working to acquire materials to create these so-called dirty bombs. Again, another week in a row, another day goes by. They are not backing down.
Yeah, this is a great outside the wire story here. There's so much going on, and they've been talking about this for years. There's radioactive material just being transported all over the place, and how are we tracking that? That's the serious question that Belgium is starting to ask.
Through intelligence and through monitoring these individuals, I won't say their names because they don't deserve any kind of recognition. These two brothers targeted the top scientist from the Sixen Nuclear Center, located about an hour from Brussels. Surveillance footage was discovered during a raid in Paris that shows ISIS collected information about the man, which goes to the other story the other day that, of course, the media downplayed right away, I'm sure from pressure from the government. That individual that was killed at that nuclear facility, and his badge was stolen.
Wow.
Well, who was the security on that watch? I mean, don't they have security guards at some
It
of
was
these
probably
nuclear
the same
plants?
guy that said the police were being unprofessional. Like that. I mean, it's lame. Like, how can you actually have something like that happen in your department and then you want to downplay the story? That's unprofessional.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but again, intelligence isn't just for the strong countries. I mean, intelligence gathering and all these kinds of techniques used to gain information about potential terrorist attacks should be heightened from this point on always. Belgium dropped the ball. I hate to say it. I know they're going through a lot right now, but they definitely dropped the ball, and there's no reason why this kind of stuff should have been caught.
Well, their Federal Agency for Nuclear Control is on high alert, obviously.
Now.
Well, and if terrorists are filming one of these top guys in a research center, then there's probably a pretty serious chance that they're looking to do something with it. I mean, you look at the sacking of Mosul last June. The terrorist groups walked away with 88 pounds of uranium compounds from the Mosul University, where the material was used for research. Why would they take that if they don't have the idea, the ability? You know, they wouldn't just take it for paperweights.
Where was the story? Where is the
It got
search?
buried under federal policies and foreign relations and budgets.
That's fine.
It got
so
buried
long
under
as-
Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were on the...
I wouldn't mind being buried under Kim Kardashian, but where was the government? Were they searching for this uranium? What agencies did they have up and running saying, okay, this amount of uranium was stolen from this university? It's uranium. Whoever
compounds.
steals it,
Uranium compounds.
uranium compounds, whatever it is, we need to get this back.
Well, they're intensifying the manhunt for the third airport bomber as they released a suspect that they took into account. They didn't say why they took him into custody. This other guy, they didn't say why they released him. But yeah, now you think it's bait car, right?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
just put a
He's
tracker
bait.
on that guy.
Yeah.
They should just put one of those suicide vests on him and then just remotely detonate it.
No, well, he's talking.
Well,
so
my thing is, this is just an opinion, and I think it's an inside job to have somebody's house have cameras planted. For one, they knew where this physicist lived. How did they get that information so easily? I think they were given, they were hand-fed a lot of information. So, I mean, the first place I'd be looking at is starting from the inside. To me, it sounds like an inside job.
Well, we're up to 35 victims from this deadly attack, this unfortunate attack in Brussels. The new death count followed tensions that boiled over in central Brussels Sunday as riot police were called in to disperse hundreds of self-described fascists who rallied around like a temporary shrine for these victims to honor them from Tuesday's attack at a public square. And then police had to come in and actually break up crowds. They were throwing chairs, trash cans, throwing. So you have those who want to mourn peacefully. You have those that want to mourn but take control back of their country. And then, of course, you have the whack jobs that are like, hey, why can't we coexist with terrorists? Well, I think that's a no-brainer.
Well, look at the United States. I mean, every so often you're going to get those news reports about having riots, for certain things. Usually it's police related. It's going to happen. We're not the only one with that kind of problem. The interesting thing is, reading the article, they actually wrote that there was 340 hooligans. Yeah. Hooligans. I mean, you don't hear that word too often.
And that was the funny thing to me. It's like I'm a hooligan. I'm a hooligan. Like, how tame is this description? It sounds like kids playing Ding Dong Ditch. That's hooligans, but I guess maybe hooligans over in Brussels is a strong term, but when I hear
it's like showing the bottom of your feet in the Middle East.
Yeah,
or giving
even that
up.
Seems a little stronger than hooligan. Like, I guess maybe we need to understand
in the last 2 years, they've spent about $600 million U.S. dollars, about 600 million euros on anti-terror mechanisms in that region.
What?
Yeah,
$670 million.
And of course
and this is what happens.
Yeah.
God.
But of course,
needs to be fired.
Their powers to be basically said it is also not because you put money in now that tomorrow that all is visible on the ground. So in essence, he is deflecting that spending, and you think there would be some results with that.
I would ask for a refund. I mean, if you're going to spend that kind of money, your security better be top notch.
Well, this is what happens when you open the borders.
There you go. That's where
Let's just be honest.
Which is true, but at the same time, I guess the liberal side of me says you just can't close off all borders to everybody because
nobody ever said you had to control them. Appropriate. Why have a border there if you're not going to control it?
Why do we have the U.S. Customs? Why do we have immigration? ICE.
Why does McDonald's have a counter where you order your food? Why can't you just go back and ransack your own food?
Technically, we should be able to get our own food.
That's why you're a hooligan.
See?
I did it one time, though. It was hilarious because I used to work in a McDonald's, and I was like, that's not how you do it. Let me do it. Of course, I was a little more than tipsy.
How old were you, 15 at the time?
Plus, it was probably a different time, too.
No, I was actually...
You were on that Kim Jong Un powder.
Oh, the Kim Jong Un powder. It makes you want to lick a nipple from...
I would have liked to have known what kind of hooligans they were, because there's a big difference between soccer hooligans and rugby hooligans. Now,
wait. Really?
Are you giving a plug for your team?
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
As a rugby player, we could take a lot of damage.
You can take a beating.
We could take a pretty good beating.
A punching,
you name it. Kick me in the groin. You step on my head, I'll just walk right off of it. Now
you enjoy this stuff.
I do.
Didn't you almost lose your eyeball?
Yes, you.
2 weeks ago, you almost lost your eyeball.
Last month.
What happened?
Got a ball kicked in my eye by one of the smallest players on the team.
I find it funny you were blinded, and yet here you were on Facebook saying you were going to the eye doctor. I'm thinking, does his phone have Braille? Like, how did he do that?
I have one. I have two eyes, so I was able to. I could still.
Three
blink.
if you count the brown eye.
Well, I keep that one well covered, at least until after 6 p.m.
Well, let's keep it covered and go to a break. What do you guys say?
I could use a break right about now.
Break.
We'll be right back. Stick around.
For money-saving tips that can help put your financial house in order and avoid future financial headaches, call the National Foundation for Credit Counseling today at 1-800-388-2227 or visit them at nfcc.org, a public service from the NFCC.
We're all in this together. When you recognize something isn't right, Make the call to the Military Crisis Line at 1-800-273-8255 and press 1.
All right, welcome back. You got it on Black Sheep Bravo. We're going to go right into our home front, Inside the Wire. We have Trouble going to take us out with this one. This is why America's military is in bad shape. Take it away, Trouble.
So, top military leaders told Congress that America's military is dangerously weak and unprepared today, and it's not getting better. Unfortunately, the testimony of these top generals and admirals did not get the attention it deserved.
And you think in Congress, he told Congress, you think it would get enough attention. You know, it's not like he tweeted about it. He went to Congress about this.
He stood in their faces, or these top military leaders, they stood in their faces or sat with a cup of water and said, we are unprepared.
I know that's a scary thought when you think about it.
Well, and he does have a point. For the last 15 years, the United States military has not been prepared for conflict with near-peer competitors like Russia or China. You know, it's one thing to fight sheep herders and goat humpers, but now you're talking a major powerhouse, you know, number 2, number 3, power-wise.
Well, they have the population. I mean, they got the mass, you know. I mean, so of course there's going to be more numbers. So, I mean, that's something to think about. But as far as training, though, what do you think about the training?
It's ridiculous. Now, even the Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Robert Neller, and when he was talking, he said the ability to meet the requirements in a major conflict we wouldn't be able to do that, probably not within the time frame that current plans call for. So you're talking about even the Marine Corps, my Marine Corps,
hoorah,
is unprepared. And that's...
I'm just going to refrain from my opinion.
Yeah, you know what?
Better.
You leave us jarheads alone.
I'll leave you guys with the Navy right where you belong.
Stop it.
So let's see if we can't bring a caller in on this. Do we have a caller on the line? Absolutely. Hey, Pat from Pennsylvania, there?
Hey, I might have a friend that's interested in Chasity.
Hey, there we go.
You caught the Stuck on Stupid segment. Nice. What'd you think?
I did. That's funny, man. It's good stuff. I'm calling in to make a comment about that article you guys are talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was medically retired back in 2014, so I am...
Were you a male dancer as well?
I was.
He can't divulge.
So I grew up on the global war on terrorism.
Well, thank you for your service, Pat.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, hey, thank you for your support. That's what I tell all those people that didn't have the balls to sign.
Nice. Please tell me you weren't Navy or Marine Corps.
Oh, no, man. I was Army.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a nasty girl for 7 years active duty as a nasty girl. So.
Hey, at least you were out there. The very small percentage of Americans say that. So don't downplay your service. So what's your opinion on this story about the military being in bad shape? I mean, we've got naval admirals, we've got the Commandant of the Marine Corps, we have the Chief of Staff all hammering this and telling Congress basically, yes, it's true. You know, we are not prepared to fight an equal competitor like Russia or China. Either budget constraints, not enough training, not enough proactive training. Like back in the day, we'd go to NTC, National Training Center in Fort Irwin, California, and you fought Russian-style tactics, which was the op for the opposing force that were stationed there.
Now, like, here's my play on it. Since World War I, America's been tearing its military down and rebuilding it for the fight that's ahead of them. When what we should be doing right now is not wasting money on 57 different camouflages.
Amen.
Gosh.
Not wasting money on whether or not females can serve side by side, males in a combat role.
Pat the preacher from Pennsylvania. Just keep preaching, brother.
A select few, can do that, have the ability to do that. But do we need to be throwing females in infantry units? No! We're going to create so many more problems than need be.
What kind of problems, Pat?
On top of that, what kind of problems? Man, I was a equal opportunity officer in the Guard, and, because I had that background, I also did a lot of sharp stuff.
What's sharp?
Sexual harassment, assault, and rape prevention. I think it. Actually, I'm not even trying to joke. I think it's called SHARP now.
That's a mouthful.
Like that.
That's
a mouthful. That's what got the training kicked off in the first place.
Yeah, they got an acronym. They got an acronym for everything. Mouthful.
But yeah, man. Like, and look what's happening. With the devil dogs. They don't have enough Marines. To go around the globe.
There's never enough Marines. We always need more.
As much bantering as we do between the branches of service, I always tell you, Trouble, I have utmost respect for the Marine Corps. I worked with 22nd MU for a while while I was in Afghanistan, and you just look at those guys, and they are faultlessly just devoted and committed, and they're professional. Now, I like their bantering and their side antics because it can get pretty funny. Normally, it's a Lance Corporal lifer who's streaking across base or something with the general's guidon off his truck. But those guys are awesome. I wouldn't want to fight them in a bar because they come like 90 deep. You guys are never one-on-one.
We are never alone.
And we hide. We hide very well. We come out of the ground.
Dude, that's how they have
very
sex
shifty.
too.
What's that, Pat?
That's how they have sex too.
Don't forget you're on a Christian station.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, we're just kidding.
We're
Pat
one
the
shot,
preacher.
one kill. That means all of us get a shot. It's going to kill.
It's going to kill. Tap it and leave it. Hit it and quit it.
So, Pat,
rub it down.
We'll wrap up your call real quick with one question.
All right.
The question is, how do we become prepared so that we are ready for this, if we have a front with an equal force or a more substantial force than what we're fighting now? Not to downplay the war going on right now. We still have Americans overseas. We have 2 Tier 1 groups. We have 3 Tier 1 groups. We have regular Army units out there, 88 Mike's Transportation. We have all kinds of various groups from the elite down to the paralegal Marine Corps guys that are over there still fighting and being killed or injured. So how do we prepare to fight a force like China or Russia? If you had one choice, what would it be?
Oh, one choice. Sadly, it's not a one choice thing. Just saying, hey, we're going to increase the budget. That's not going to work. That would tremendously help things, but sadly, I think the Marine Corps and the Army need to get hard again.
So the POTUS's decision to cut the numbers to pre-World War II numbers, 440,000, whatever it is.
Well, I'm going to say it. I'm hard right now. Let's let you know. I'm hard right now.
I'm fully erect.
Pat's got
I'll tell you.
So that was foolish. The budget cuts are foolish. So you're saying like a 3-front idea here. So training, budget, and increased numbers.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everyone's hurting. Everyone's hurting, I think, right now, except for the Coast Guard. Seriously, the Air Force had to cut, I think 7 squadrons.
Well,
and a lot of those
from now on, when you call in, you just say, "This is Pat the Preacher from Pennsylvania."
I like that one. Pat the Preacher.
Pat the Preacher from Pennsylvania.
That's a lot of
Pat the Preacher
from Pennsylvania.
I like a piece.
What is in Pennsylvania? What do you do now that you're retired? What do you do?
For a hobby. I also work with a non-profit organization called Resiliency Forge out of Fort Belvoir.
Like a forge where you make stuff, like spoons?
Some of our guys make spoons, whatever you want to do, man.
I'm imagining you're talking swords and knives and hatchets, or are you talking like silverware?
Cannonballs.
No. Right now, not quite swords, but like large knives, axes, hatchets.
Nice.
Stuff
And
like that. A spear.
This is a therapy. That's a therapy-based program for vets, or for who?
Oh yes, it's for disabled veterans.
Awesome. So if people wanted information on getting into forging as a therapy-based program, we got another caller calling in.
Stand by.
If people wanted information on that, where can they find information on it?
I would just go on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a Facebook, you're a troglodyte. But go on Facebook and search Resiliency Forge.
All right, we're going to do that now. We're going to get on the book face, look up Resiliency Forge. Hey, keep up the good fight, Pat the Preacher in Pennsylvania, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you, P.
Stay armed. Stay armed.
All right, so what do you guys think? So Pat thinks three things: budget, money, and troop numbers.
Well, we had a story about that, like at one of our first shows, about how some of the special op units are taking huge cuts in their equipment. I think that has a lot to do with it. The money. I mean, looking at this report, this past year they were $20 billion lower in the budget, in the defense budget. So you're taking away $20 billion away from a military.
Well, I think groups like Delta and DevGru and those specialty tier 1 groups. I don't think the full story's coming out. I think those guys do have a lot of equipment and support, but not enough. And they're doing an insane job. Imagine if we kitted them out with everything they needed right now, how much better they would fight.
But let me ask this, and I know Trouble's about to say something here, and I think you're going along the same lines. If we have to protect our own borders, right, would we be ready?
No, I don't think so.
Why is that?
No, because we're not using our prior service properly. We have vets coming home not able to become gainfully employed. We should have vets in schools patrolling. We should have vets on the border patrolling. But my thing is increasing the budget. I don't think it's just that simple as increase the budget, things will get better. And that is a very democratic way of
throw money
thinking.
At the problem.
Just throw money at it.
Well, that's Republicans, that's Democrats, that's everybody.
Which is true.
They all.
But my thing is, you don't just throw money at this kind of situation because officials are going to get their hands in it, and it's going to be a mess.
Let's hypothetically say they balanced their checkbook, because like right now they're that dependopotamus. At Fort Bragg, just spending freely while the husband's deployed. That's what I feel like our government does. So, okay, let's say hypothetically we balance the budget. So the other side of that is fixing the numbers, the troop numbers, and then the training to be able to fight a force like China or Russia.
I guess the other thing is we've been putting so much more money into technology, where we're trying to limit the amount of troops on ground so that we are eliminating the amount of possible fatalities, possible deaths, possible injuries. And I agree with that to a point where when you need troops on ground, you need troops on ground. Spain. And there's no drone that's equipped to talk to, opposition.
Yeah, because we're kind of bouncing back and forth on two different topics here, but they both correlate.
Right.
If we can't fight a force like China or Russia, or according to these top level leaders who clearly know their forces, they know what they're capable of. So, what do we do about the borders? Let's say we had another Pearl Harbor. Are we capable of doing that? Because the other problem, and I don't know if a lot of civilians know, is POTUS, and not just him alone, but a lot of powers to be to cut budgets and do this and that, a lot of lobbyists and congressmen, they have basically started shutting down major installations. So now we have key footholds in the United States, and that's fine. I can understand collectively bringing the force together and shutting down unnecessary bases and that kind of stuff. But are they strategically placed for these kinds of events?
They better be making good use of the National Guard. They better be making good use of the reserve population. They better have their training up to date, because I've done the reserve side, I've done the drilling side, and we train realistically within our job field very little. It's mostly, I was teaching hand-to-hand combat because I did a little time in the Army, and I wanted my soldiers ready to fight.
Yeah. I think even now with the veteran population that we have now all over the country, I think if we did get invaded, I think the majority of the veterans that I know are pretty well armed, and they know how to use their weapons.
And let's be honest, the outside appearance of America is based solely on what they see on the media, the internet, etc. What is blasted all over that? Idiots like Kanye West, idiots like Kim Kardashian, idiots like Justin, well, he's a foreigner, Justin Bieber. So their opinion of us is that. They don't see the farmer
Right.
They don't see.
But that's
the,
good,
the
though.
rednecks.
I don't know if they want to see you though.
They don't see the rednecks that live,
With your
like
shirt
myself,
off, stroking your chickens.
Who don't be giving away all my secrets, man. Stick to the donuts. So they don't see those guys. They don't see the massive amount of numbers of trained combat veterans that are now out of the military that will and do have the ability to protect their country. They don't see that. So I think it's foolish for somebody like a major force to come and attack us in a major city.
But I think that's a deterrent, though. When other countries see how stupid some of our celebrities are, they don't see the real deal behind under the smoke is us waiting silently, waiting for a war to happen.
And you say us, you're talking about veterans.
I'm talking veterans.
And Americans.
And Americans.
And us rednecks.
Because I tell you what, somebody comes into my front porch and they're going to pick a fight with me, you better have brought some food and some water, because it's going to be a long fight. Because I tell you what, we're going to take it. We're going to take it to the championship round, and it'd be pretty messed up for those who think about trying to come to our country and pick a fight with us. I think they have another thing coming, because I think we are ready just on the veteran front. Veterans got it.
So they need to bring a bag of Snickers because they're going to be here a while.
Oh, they're going to be here a while.
We're talking veterans, and especially ex-combat vets or ex-military that are now either have transitioned to civilian life or have retired or whatever the case may be.
Because think about it.
Let's talk about them. I'm getting cared for, because in a recent story that came out was the VA got an F for failure, like a big fat F, for the Persian Gulf war claims. So now you're talking still a capable fighting force here in the U.S., but they're not even getting taken care of. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, this strikes home with me, because again, I'm a Persian Gulf War vet, and it just so happens to be that the story came out perfect timing here, because we're not getting the help that we have been putting claims in for. For example, I mean, I hate to throw out numbers, but we're talking percentage. 2015, the VA denied nearly 82% of claims filed by Gulf War veterans. And these are conditions that are supposed to be presumptive. And again, it's, for me, on a personal side note, I've been struggling with some issues for the past 25 years. I just accepted it. Every time I went to the VA and tried to express what I was feeling or what I was going through, I never got what I wanted. And so I accepted the pain I have. This beautiful face that you see is because I'm hiding a lot of pain.
You have the perfect.
I got the perfect radio voice.
You have the perfect radio face.
Face. I got the radio face.
So nearly 700,000 U.S. service members deployed to the 1991 Gulf War. 54,193 of those have filed disability claims for illness related to their service. There goes another squad car. I wonder if somebody else turned in meth.
That's it.
Chastity's sister.
Chastity's sister. Oh, they're bringing her here.
Here she comes.
We need to interview her.
I need to find Chastity.
So, roughly, a fifth of those claims were granted, and of the denied claims, 42% were approved for another condition, other than presumptive Gulf War-related conditions.
Skipping out on the bill, basically. So they're deflecting blame. They're deflecting, and you're talking about not just PTSD. There were chemicals used over there, if I remember correctly. And how many of them are still suffering from chemical reactions?
Well, let me tell you this. At 20-something years old, how many colonoscopies is normal? That's the thing. I mean, yes, there's one thing to get checkups, but at an early age of having all these gastrointestinal problems, these joint pains, the migraines, the undiagnosable things that are occurring, and all we get told is, well, I'm sorry, you don't have
irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the Gulf War.
It has nothing to do with it. Yeah, because on my wedding day, I'm just going to say this: on my wedding day, it was unbearable. I mean, I was in severe pain. I couldn't enjoy myself, and it was one of those things where I just had to suck it up and take it, and I've been dealing with that for the past 25 years, and there are a lot of men and women out there that are going through the same thing, and for my own personal use, or my personal opinion, it's not about the money. I just want someone to say, you know what?
Personal use would have been the cream.
Cream. Yeah, no.
No, your personal opinion is not about the money.
No, it's not about the money. It's. I just want someone to acknowledge that, yes, that is due from your service in the Persian Gulf. That's all I want.
I don't think it's a shock that they got an F in this. I mean,
I would have told you
I look
that.
at the VA report card and I see D, D minus, F, F minus all the way down.
That's not even bra sizes we're talking about here.
Yes, exactly. That'd be double F. So, but I do look at some areas in the VA, and I do see a B, a C plus. I mean, there are certain things that they're really good at without even trying.
Yeah, but that's just stapling, making copies, getting coffee,
playing on Facebook, having an attitude, looking up another job on the government computer while you're at work.
Right, and then giving us attitude because you've become so complacent and burnt out in your own job that now every time we actually have a real concern, a real issue, you don't even, I'll go down to the VA and they don't even look up at me 3 sentences in, and then they'll finally look me in my face seriously?
But that's anywhere, though. I mean, if I go anywhere, and if someone doesn't look at me, I'm going to say something. Whether it's a restaurant,
you just like to be looked at.
Daycare, look at me, worship me, will you?
So if you're a Gulf War vet and you're listening in, currently the conditions must appear before December 31st, 2016, to an extent that they're at least 10% disabling. So if you fall into this category, you better get in soon, and you better follow through on it.
That's
because
exactly
they
right.
will find a way to deny you.
Follow through. That's the key word. Follow through.
Like the lady who took her meth into the police station. She followed through. She was committed.
She was absolutely committed to having the best meth available.
So be like Chasity.
Be like Chasity.
There you go. That's a T-shirt.
Get your
Zinc Factory.
meth.
Hey, Zinc Factory, can you make us a T-shirt by then?
Awesome.
Chasity. For what? Local what? Local celebrity at the very least.
Yeah,
she's a local celebrity.
We should make a profile for her on jihadist.com.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one. Chastity.
Wait, put her next to a goat and see which one they pick over.
All right. All right, so for those of you guys listening out there, again, this is Black Sheep Bravo Radio, and we are getting a lot more responses. So again, this show is not just for us. This show is for all of you. So if you have any comments, suggestions, give us a call, email us, Twitter, Facebook. Let us know your thoughts, and if you have any ideas that you would like us to appear, that's another good one.
info@blacksheepbravo.com. And then for all of us, the hosts, Trouble, Spaniard, and Crash, you can reach us. Like mine would be Crash at blacksheepbravo.com for my email. Spaniard, obviously Spaniard and Trouble, and Max, our producer, if you need to get a hold of him, Max at blacksheepbravo.com.
Yeah, and check out Max's Amish porn. It's quite entertaining.
He's on Christian Singles too.
Oh, is that what it was?
His wife was not happy that we created that.
I thought it was
him.
Farmers Only.
That's the one I'm on.
Oh, you're on that one.
My wife didn't like that you made that.
Trouble, what are you on? Besides marijuana.
He can't say.
I'm on. I'm the start of the fan club for Putin's right nipple.
There we go. All right. Until next time, you guys keep it safe, keep it armed, and we'll see you next week.
Black Sheep Bravo Radio was recorded in Northwest Indiana. The show is produced and directed by Max Boats and hosted by Paul, Albert, and Tony. Until next time, smoke 'em if you got 'em.